welcome back to this channel. On this channel, we talk about personal finance, we talk about wealth creation and management, we talk about retirement planning, investment, and we also talk about self-improvement. If this resonates with you, if this looks like what you want, please kindly click the subscribe button and the notification bell to watch our videos, and also encourage us by clicking the thumbs up. Thank you very much. Today, we're going to be talking about the 5 different ways in which you can actually invest your money in Nigeria. 5 different ways in which you can invest your money, whether it is you're starting with 500,000, whether we are starting with 1 million, or whatever amount you're starting with. So first of all, we go with a treasury bill. What are bills are debt instruments issued by government of any country? In this wise, we're talking about Nigeria, issued by the Nigerian treasury bills are debt instrument issued by the Nigerian government saying that they want to borrow money to do certain things and all that. And this is usually a low risk investment, and it's usually within a year, within 90 days and 365 days. So you have some treasury bills issued for 90 days or 91 days. We have some issued for 180 days or 182 days or 181 days, depending on the auction. You have some issued for 364 days or 365 days, and treasury bills usually get your interest upfront because these instruments are usually discounted and all that. So you get your interest upfront. Treasury bills is actually low risk, and then your capital and your returns are actually guaranteed back. That's one way in which you can invest your money in Nigeria. And we have so many people that actually key into all this low risk fixed income because it's fixed income returns. You get your fixed income investment, and people actually key into it. Actually strategizing using this instrument to pay for their school fees, pay for their rents, pay for their bills, their recurring bills, your bill. The minimum amount you can invest in treasury bill is actually 100,000. And how can I access this treasury bill? You can actually download, if you download some of the investment apps or you go to the asset managers, how can I access treasury bills? You can go through your banks, through your commercial banks. We have some of the banks that their branches offer treasury bills. So when this auction are open and all that, you can also always invest in it. You can check their investment, maybe investment branches and all that. So also you can also use the asset managers, the asset managing firms. We have so many of the asset managing firms. We have the Stanbic IBTC, FBN Quest, we have ARM. We have a lot of them around that are properly and duly registered with SEC, and they have long standing of credit, that they have been doing well. So you can go through all this, and you can also go through all these brokerage hubs that you have, as long as they are duly registered with SEC and you know that your money is secure. So for the treasury bills, you can invest as low as 100,000 naira on your treasury bill, and you can also increase it with time. And before you know it, you are growing your wealth. You don't have to wait for the time that you have so large amount of money. So with the treasury bills, you can grow your money, and you can also invest your money. The second one is actually the federal government bonds, in which the federal government bonds comes out in two types. We have one that you can invest as low as 5,000 naira. We have one that the minimum investment is starting from 20 million naira. So for the low investment, for the low earners, for medium earners, for people that want to start, they are starting small. They can always go for the federal government bond of five that starts with 5,000 naira. And the federal government bonds comes out every month. The first week of every month, federal government bond is issued first week of every month. You can go through your stockbrokers, or you can go through your brokerage apps. You can go through the asset management firms, to actually key into this federal government bond. These are just avenues in which you can actually get fixed income, low risk investment. And it's consistent. It's federal government bonds pays every quarter. Government bonds pays you back your coupons, your interests, back. And the federal government bond is usually between 2 years and 3 years. For the one that the minimum is 5,000 naira, it's usually between 2 years and 3 years, and your capital is paid back at the end of the duration. At the end of the duration of the investment, your capital is paid back. But every quarter, before till the end of the duration, you are getting your interest back, you are getting your coupon back, and all that. So the federal government bond is saying is issuing out particular investment for probably 17% interest rate or 20% interest rate. That means for every amount that you invest, you get 20% back. If it's 20%, if it's 25%, amen, you get back your return back annually. And you know what that means is that whatever amount you're going to get for that year, you divide it by 4, because you're going to get it back 4 times. Like 4 times anything you are getting divided by 4, you get it back. You get the first part back at the end of the first quarter. You get the second back at the end of the second quarter. You get the third back at the end. Till the end of the investment. So at the end of the investment, you are return back your capital. You are return back your capital in full. So and the one of the advantage of the federal government bond is that it's easily accessible. It's easily accessible in the sense that you can go through your brokers, you can go through your, we have so many of these apps now, investment apps, just make sure that the ones you want to invest in, they are duly registered with SEC, they are duly registered, and they have long-standing, credit risk rating. It's very important. So now we go into the third one. The third way in which you can invest your money in Nigeria is through mutual funds. Mutual funds are actually it's like a basket of funds, because mutual funds are usually an investment basket that is managed by mutual managers, by active mutual managers. What does mutual funds actually mean? It means that, okay, a manager is saying that bring in your funds. A lot of people, you actually pay money into a particular, like a particular basket, like a particular pool. I pay mine, Uche pays our own, Chan Chan pays our own, Kamandi pays our own. Everybody just pays into that basket. And at the end of the day, whatever money is inside that basket, the fund manager invests this money in either low risk investment. They can invest it in a low risk investment. They can invest it in equities. They can invest in real estate. They invest it. And at the end of the day, probably every month or every year, when the investment has already generated returns, these returns are shared among everybody that has actually contributed into that pool of funds. And the beauty of money market mutual funds is that your capital and your returns are rolled back every month. Every month, your capital and you are earning compound interest. So even if you start with 1 million, if at the end of the first month, the interest on that 1 million is probably 10,000. So the next month, your capital will now be 1 million and 10,000. And that will be rolled over again. Your capital is just increasing. It's just increasing. And before you know it, boom. Without, and you can also be paying into, there are so many of these money market mutual funds. You can access it through Stanbic Bank, access it through FBN Quest, and access it through all these apps that are duly registered with SEC. Just be paying into it. And before you know it, your money has already compounded and has increased. And this money market mutual funds comes out in two folds. It can come out in naira, or you can also invest in probably dollar or any foreign currency that that particular company is offering. You can, if you say I don't want to invest I don't want to invest in naira, I want to invest in dollar. It will automatically convert your money. There are some of these apps that convert your money into the dollar using the prevailing rates, and you can invest in it, and it will be paying you back in dollar. You know, it will pay you back in dollar. So just the most important thing is just that there are so many avenues in which you can actually invest your money. You can approach FBN Quest, approach Stanbic IBTC asset managers, approach all these apps. There are so many of these apps that you can just download on your phone, and pim, you have already started investing without even anybody knowing, without even the person sitting next to you knowing what you are doing. You can move your money in and out very easily. And the money market mutual fund, you can decide to withdraw, you can decide to deposit. It's just like a savings account, but has a much more higher interest rate. The next one that we are going into is Euro bonds. These are also bonds, but they are not naira denominated. You can These are bonds, like we call it euro bonds. It's usually dollar denominated bonds, also which comes out at certain times, which you can invest in, and it will pay you back returns every 6 months and all that. So you can also invest in the euro bonds and all that. For we have mentioned like five of them now: the treasury bill, your bonds, mutual funds, either the one in naira or the dollar. You can invest also in euro bonds. Lastly, you can also invest in commercial papers. Commercial papers are high yield issued by large organizations saying, please borrow us your money, we'll pay you back at so time, and we'll pay you back with interest. And commercial papers are sweet in the sense that they offer higher interest rate than treasury bills, they offer higher interest rate than government bonds, they offer higher interest rate than savings account. It's also a very good way of it's also low risk as long as the company has a good credibility, and you also do your due diligence to know that, okay, this company is not sinking, this company is not in trouble or any kind of bad news or negative news that will crash these companies. And also invest in commercial papers, can invest your money. All these that I've mentioned are all low risk investment in which you can invest your funds in. Either you are starting with 500,000, or you are starting with 5,000 naira, or you are starting with 100,000 naira, or you are starting with 1 million, or you are starting with 20 million naira. Just put in your money there and let it be generating sweet returns for you without any hustling or any wahala. Thank you very much for listening out to this long video. I wish you a very successful journey in your investment journey. See you in the next video. Thank you.